Hello and welcome back to a new Rage Gaming video. My name is Holo and today we're talking more Genshin Impact at last. There's been a big beautiful news drop for all of us waiting on the 1.1 update, a reasonably big content injection for those of you who are post AR20. As you probably know, once you complete the Storm Terror boss fight and with that complete the prologue of the game, you're left with very sparse and separated story content. We just touched on Liyue and the characters involved in that region, and now with 1.1 we'll have a much more fleshed out story experience for the second region of the game. Now we already know a bunch of stuff about 1.1 thanks to the various leaks in the past, but today we can take a look at what's actually confirmed coming to 1.1 so you're prepared on November 11th, the release date of this update. The source of this information comes from the official preview stream for patch 1.1 via the Genshin Impact devs. The stream itself was entirely in Chinese, and now we've had the information translated, we can get to that. And secondly, the official patch trailer from the Genshin Impact YouTube channel, which showcased events from the upcoming story. And of course, lastly, the recent leak of the upcoming weekly boss fight, CHILDE. Alright, let's start with a new quest and story. As confirmed by the devs and the trailer, the next chapter will take place in Liyue and finish all of that all in 1.1. Liyue was mostly introduced through AR 20 to 29, but in the trailer we now see Keqing, Zhao, and Ganyu all having main roles in the upcoming story, which is good to see. Keqing is someone I want to learn more about considering she's my main. I'm ready and waiting for a new story quest personally because I didn't really get into that daily grind that became much more apparent once you complete the prologue and the world suddenly felt a bit more small and empty. The question is, what AR levels will this story take place at, and will it be as separated by levels as the Liyue introduction was? My guess would be somewhere between 20 and 40 right now though. Next, the confirmed 4 characters coming with this patch. Our new playable characters will be Zhongli, the Geo user, CHILDE, the Hydro user, Diona, the Cryo user, and lastly Xingyang, the Pyro user. They all appear in the trailer with a brief showcase of their abilities, and we get a proper look at them in the dev stream. We knew this was coming from the leaks though, having seen gameplay of both Zhongli and CHILDE already, and little hints at the other characters. Zhongli makes use of polearms and some very flashy attack animations. I really like them. His ultimate seems to summon a giant Geo rock down on a target, which certainly looks like effective burst damage. CHILDE looks awesome, using multiple weapons made from water. By default, he uses a bow, but through his abilities, he can use water daggers, a unique weapon for this character for a few attacks at least, and his water spear, which is part of his ultimate, a wide sweeping polearm attack for hydro damage. The water weapons are great, a cool way to use his hydro abilities with the kit of the character. Xingyang, the Pyro user, is the musician who uses pyrotechnics in her performances. Using claymores as her weapon, she can give herself a pyro shield of some sort using her music by the looks, and then her ultimate generates huge explosions of fire around her. While lastly, Diona makes use of a bow for her main weapon. She's this tiny little bartender who apparently hates Diluc, therefore I hate her. She also uses ice bottles to shoot off cryo attacks, and she can do some AoE cryo explosions. For a new character banner, aka how we get these characters, we've not had direct word on that yet, but I can assume with the 4 new characters we're going to see a new banner as a way to get them. Now let's get into some of the details provided from the dev stream. A new reputation system is coming to the game. To start with, we will have 1 reputation for the 2 regions, in this case a rep for Mondstadt and a rep for Liyue. Through 4 methods we're going to be leveling up our reputation. These methods are bounties, requests, world exploration, and relevant region questing. To interact with the new system, you'll just need to visit a new NPC that will be added to each region, and through that we'll gather the new rewards. Listed here we can see that there's new wings to unlock finally, name cards, some new food recipes, and perhaps crafting recipes too. At level 2 reputation you'll get the new feature, mining outcrop search, in the relevant region, so that should be another way to gather ore. And at level 4 we'll have discounts at the merchants of that region. I think it'll be nice to have a new progression system giving us something to work on other than say AR levels or friendship levels. We also have some very nice new items coming to the game for some quality of life. Firstly, the portable teleporter, which allows you to create a new teleport waypoint at your current location. Now you can only have one of these placed on a map at any one time, but this is really useful if you're say farming the same area every day. It'll be a super fast way to travel there. That's a great addition, just like the new portable cooking pot, letting you cook anywhere in the world with this gadget instead of having to return to to a town or finding one out in the world. The new food bag will give us a quick way to eat food now as well, instead of going through all our menus to just get to the food every damn time. A new feature we'll have as well as the new Animo bottles, where we can collect Animo wisps and then use them where relevant for a gust of wind. I think many players are going to like this one. The new Residence Stones will help us find the remaining Animoculus or Geoculus that you've missed in each region. Some people from my Discord have been trying to find their last remaining ones with no luck, so this will really help them. And similar to that, we'll also have the new chest compass to locate any chests you've missed as yet another collection tool. With all of that, we'll have a new quick slot for, say, food, Animo stones, and the Animo bottle, rather than having to go through your menus for any of those. You could just use it actively whenever you want it. Speaking of quality of life, I think I should mention the resin update. Some of you are going to love this, some of you are going to be pissed. The resin cap is now being increased from 120 to 160. Basically, you have about one more boss to kill daily or a few of the other resin events. Personally, I am glad we're going to have more resin to work with, but this change will make very little impact overall. I mean, the same issues are still going to continue by having a daily limit that's quite restricted like it is, and they definitely didn't mention any other plans. So yeah, I'm looking forward to these changes. A lot of these ideas make sense, the type of stuff that you wonder, hey, why wasn't this in the game from the beginning? But I'm very relieved to see that we will have them now. In the trailer, and briefly mentioned as well in the dev stream, was a look at the Golden Palace. It's this floating building. It could be a new area, but from what I think, I would assume this is just the location of the weekly boss and the culmination of the new story. A small place to hang out or go fight the boss, but a relatively small location, I would assume. Next, the newly announced event featuring Mona in the artwork, the Unreconciled Stars event. This event will have 3 stages that will be released over time, with new things to do each week until its completion. As part of the event, I'm really happy to see this, and I'm sure many of you guys are too. We will unlock Fischl through this event without needing to roll for her, similar to, say, Xiangling during the Spiral Abyss event. If you don't know, Fischl is an extremely effective Electro user who can make use of long-range Electro attacks. She's a great supporting character. She's going to be great in any team and gives free-to-play players a new character unlock, which is great news. There'll be other rewards in the event too, but I think they're going to be more generic in nature. Outside of that, we're also going to have a new co-op event, which is basically the same one we already did with the Crucible Alchemy, but in a new location. Looking at the footage, it just seems like they're working with that totem and filling it up, all in co-op. Now let's talk about the leaked footage part. During the dev stream, we got a brief look at the newly weekly boss as part of the storyline, CHILDE. As you'll see though, he's using 2 elements at once here while possessed by some sort of demonic force. He's wearing that mask of his fully here, and he's using both Hydro and Electro to fight you. And like I said, I think this is happening in the Golden Palace. The cinematic looks incredible. CHILDE is such a cool character, and seeing him used as a multi-stage boss fight is very exciting and potentially, hopefully, actually difficult to fight. Because let's be honest, the Storm Terror boss fight was a massive letdown mechanically. So will CHILDE be better? Well, from the leak, we've actually seen footage of each stage of this boss fight and how it's going to work. It is a 3-stage boss fight, as I said, in which CHILDE will use different forms of fighting until he fully corrupts in that final stage. To begin with, we will have basic Hydro attacks through CHILDE's normal abilities, where we need to dodge areas of danger and contend with his direct attacks. But in phase 2, things get a bit more interesting as CHILDE teleports to the middle of the arena to transform, suddenly using Electro attacks and wearing that much darker outfit. Here he's using Electro versions of those daggers and the polearm for different combinations, but generally these are wide sweeping attacks in front of CHILDE that you'll need to dodge. Lastly though, after we defeat him a second time, the final phase will begin as CHILDE transforms into this demonic enemy with his very big galaxy cape. The dude's floating in the air now all ominously, and he's much more agile as he begins dashing in various directions you'll need to avoid. And though his basic attacks come out a bit slower, they shoot out at greater range and in much wider sweeps. Using both Hydro and Electro at the same time, he will literally summon a whale. That's some memes right there. That must have been intentional. Overall, this boss fight is certainly more interesting than any other we've seen. It's certainly more interesting than Storm Terror, both in design and mechanics. But the question will be, how dangerous is this fight really? In the video, we saw his final form was level 70, but who knows what it will actually be in-game, and it probably also depends on your world level too. But there you have it, all the new confirmed major information for patch 1.1, with new word coming through soon, most likely in text announcements about about other details like how we'll get the new characters through probably a new wish pack or two, and of course, maybe, hopefully, some original resin changes. Definitely don't hold your breath on that one though. What do you guys think of 1.1? Is this everything you hoped for in the first update for the game? I definitely hoped for Inazuma, the Japanese region, to be introduced in this patch, but maybe it still will be in a smaller form, like maybe later on they'll release a introduction quest line like what we had for Liyue. I am very happy to see the different quality of life updates that the game certainly needs, and of course some 4-star characters instead of only 5 stars, because people are more likely to get 4-star characters. Meanwhile, we still not had any information about multiplayer and any improvements on that very restricted system they have right now, so I'm disappointed by that. Either way, we'll see it all soon on November 11th, but until next time, I've been Hollow, you've been you, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.